Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about Java data types and type conversion. Now, before going into the detail of this discussion, let us recapitulate our whatever we have learned on literals and the variables. Now, the other class I was telling you, there is a very close relationship between the literal and the variables because literals are the constants or the actual data item that are given as input to the program, and they need a variable to be stored in the memory before they get processed. So it is very important to know what is the type of the variable that is going to store a particular type of literal. Okay, so in this context the knowledge of data types becomes very important because knowing the different data types that are supported by Java will help us in two different ways. First of all, we will be able to know what is the data type of a particular variable that is going to store a particular type of constant or literal. Secondly, it will help us to use our memory space economically. That means it will help us to prevent wastage of memory. This is because now if I know what is the range of the particular type of literal or constant that I am going to use in my program, or the range of the output value that is going to be generated after the processing, then this knowledge will help me to declare an appropriate data type of variable, an appropriate type of variable in the memory that will use a fixed memory bytes, thereby helping us to prevent wastage of memory, right? So for two reasons, the need of data type becomes, the knowledge of knowing the data type becomes important. Okay, now Java supports two types of data. The Java supports two types of data. One is your primitive data types, and the second one is your reference data type. Primitive data type and reference data type. Let us talk about each of them separately, one after the other. First of all, coming to primitive data types. What is primitive data type and what are its types? Now, primitive data types are the fundamental or the basic data type of Java. These are the built-in data type of Java, and they use a specific size of memory bytes, and they are of 8 types, right? So I repeat, primitive data types are the built-in data types of Java. They need or they use specific size of memory bytes in the memory bytes, and they are of 8 types, and they are like byte, short, int, long. Now each of them are keywords, so they all are written in lowercase. Float, double, char, char, that stands for character data type. 8 is boolean. So 8 primitive data types are there: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char and boolean. Okay, out of these 8 data types, the first 6 data types, that is starting from byte till double, they are meant for are also called as numeric data type, because they are used for storing different types of numbers or literals, numeric literals, right? So first 6 are storing for numbers, next 2 are individual data types. Separately they store one, this one char stores character, boolean stores a logical value. Okay, out of these 6 or out of the 6 numeric data types, the first 4, that means from byte to long, the first 4 data types are used for integer literal. That means all integer numbers. To store an integer number, out of this 4 I can use any one of the data type to declare a variable that is going to store an integer number. Okay. Next, the 5th and 6th, these two, float and double, these two data types are used for storing a real or floating point number or a number with a decimal point. So this is used for real or floating point literals or constants. Okay. This is used for char. 7th one, char, is used for storing a character, and this is for storing a boolean data or literal. Okay. Now let us discuss each of them separately with the bytes of memory they use and what is the range of value they support. Each of them, let us say one by one. What is the number of bytes of memory they need and what is the range of value they support. The first we will discuss about is byte. So let me make a table like structure. This is the data type, then memory bytes, and range. Okay, like a table only, we'll see. The first one is your byte. Now byte is the smallest data type to store an integer, literal or constant. Now it uses 1 byte in the memory and its range, the range of value it is going to support is -2 to the power 7 to 2 to the power 7 minus 1. Okay. Now this is the smallest one. Then comes next the short data type. It has a higher capacity than the byte data type. It needs 2 bytes in memory and its range is -2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15 minus 1, right? Then comes the third integer data type is int. Now this is the Java's default data type to store an integer number, and the number of byte it needs in memory is 4 and its range is -2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Okay, this is the default data type of Java to store an integer. Then comes the long data type. This is the largest data type to store an integer number. That means out of these 4 data types, to store an integer number with maximum capacity, you go for the data type is long. It occupies 8 bytes in memory and its range is -2 to the power 63 to 2 to the power 63 minus 1. Okay. Then comes these two. Integer numbers are over for storing integer literals. Any one of these 4 data types can be used for declaring a variable that is meant for storing an integer literal of various range of capacity. Now then comes the floating point numbers or fractional numbers, or number used using decimal point. 2 are there, one is float and the other one is double. Now the float data type is used to store a real or fractional or the floating point literal or fractional value or constant with single precision. Single precision floating point literal numbers. Single precision means after the decimal point it supports 8 digits, right? And double is meant for storing a fractional number, a real or floating point literal, having double precision. Double precision means after the decimal point it supports 16 digits. Okay, the first we will talk about float. It supports single precision floating point literals, and it takes 4 bytes of memory, and its range is -3.4e 38 to 3.4e 38. Okay, here E stands for exponent. This means -3.4 into 10 to the power 38 exponent. Now next one is double. It is used to store double precision real, literal or fractional number, and it needs 8 bytes of memory, and its range is -1.7e 308 to 1.7e 308. Here E stands for exponent, that is 10 to the power that value, this value 308. Okay, so these 6 are meant for storing your numeric literals, or numeric literals are of 2 types, integer and your real literal or floating point literal. For integers these 4 are there, and then for storing the fractional numbers or real literal, these 2 data types are there. Okay, next one comes to car. Car data type is used to store a single character constant. Now in the discussion of Java character set, I had told you that Java supports a character set called as Unicode character set, and there are 65,536 characters, right? Now to store, so the car data type is used for storing a character constant, and it requires 2 bytes of memory, and the range of the character that it is going to store is 0 to 65,535. So when you count from 0, it is coming to 65,536, but the range is 0 to 65,535. Okay, now then comes the last one, that is your Boolean data type. Now this data type needs 1 byte of memory, but it uses 1 bit that either represents your false, that is 0, or it represents true, that is 1. Okay, so these are the 8 primitive data types. These are the basic, fundamental or built-in data type of Java. They are using fixed memory bytes in the memory, and their range of value that they are going to support. Okay, now we'll see the reference data type. Now the reference data type are the user defined data type, are also called as composite data type. Okay, now they are made up of the primitive data types, right? And they do not use any fixed memory size. They don't have any fixed memory space to occupy. Depends on the type of data types they are taking together and they are formed. Okay, now some of this reference data type, actually reference means memory address of a location or cell. Reference means the memory address of a cell, and this data type is used to refer to the memory address, and the variable that stores this memory address or the reference is called as the reference variable, and its data type is called the reference data type. Some of the examples are your object, class, then array, string, interface, etc. Okay, regarding this we will be learning in the higher classes. For your syllabus, our concentration will be on the primitive data types. Okay, now once we know what are the data types, the beginning of this class I was telling you the knowledge of data type will help us to declare a variable that is going to store a particular type of literal or constant. So then the next thing that we are going to learn is how to declare a variable. Okay, how to declare a variable of a particular type. Now the declaration of a variable. This is important because while writing Java programs we need to declare every variable before only they are used. So we should know how to declare them. Now the format or the syntax of declaring a variable is, first of all you should write the data type. So data type followed by name of the variable, and it should end with a semicolon. Okay, now this format will be applicable for a single variable of a particular data type. Now at times we need to declare number of variables belonging to similar data type. Then the format will be like this: data type. If more than one variable belong to the same data type, then you go on writing the name of each variable. Name of variable 1, comma. Now this is the separator that I am using. Then name of variable 2, comma, and the list will go on. Finally, end the statement with a semicolon. Let us take the example and understand how to write it. Now suppose say primitive data types, let us come back to primitive data types, right? Let us say I want to store an integer literal of a very small range or capacity, then I need a byte variable. So how to, and as I have told you, variables have to be declared. So how to declare a variable of type byte? Following the format, first comes the data type. So if I want that this the value or the literal, integer literal can be of byte type, so then I'll write data type byte, small letter, lowercase. This is a keyword, so has to be written in lowercase. Then name of the variable can be the name given by the user, let us say A, semicolon. Now suppose this is a single variable of type byte, but let us say there are 3 variables, all of integer belonging to the integer, the numeric literal, but of type byte. So how will I write that? Byte, let us say A, comma B, comma C. Here all the 3 variables are of byte type, but instead of writing them separately every time with their data type, one time I am writing data type and then I am separating them by comma. Okay. Suppose next one, short. I want to declare a variable of type short. So how will I write that? Again, short, let us say D. Right? I want to declare a variable of integer type, int. That's the default data type of Java. Let us say E. I want to declare a variable of type long. I want to declare a variable of float, double, character, char. While saying I say character, but when you write data types, car, C, Boolean B. Now these variables these alphabets or the alphabets I have used for naming the variables will be decided by you. You can take any variable of your choice. Okay, now here all single variables are taken. I can take multiple variables in one statement also, like this. Okay, so this is how you declare a variable. Next comes assigning a value to a variable. So next, assigning a value to a variable. Okay, so now first of all you have to declare the variable. There are two ways. Format is variable equal to value. Before assignment declaration, you have to declare the variable, or together also we can do. This also another format can also be data type variable equal to value. The first format we can use if we have already written a declaration statement separately, then this will be the format for assigning the value to a variable which is already declared. Here in this second format, I am directly declaring as well as assigning the value to the variable. Example, the first one we'll see. This is, let us say I am declaring here, I am declaring the variable, then I assign the value, right? Second format, declaration and assignment the value together. This is how we declare different variables. Like that, suppose character variable. Character constant. Boolean. Boolean constant. Like this, okay? The next we are going to see is, so this is the different types of data that will be used in Java. And the next one that we will see is type conversion. Type conversion means data type conversion. Okay. In this section we will see that how we can convert a value of a particular data type into a value of another data type. That means a value belonging to a particular data type can also be changed in a value of another data type. That changing is called as conversion. So data type conversion. Okay. Now Java supports two types of data conversion. One is your implicit data conversion. Second one is your explicit data conversion. Implicit data conversion and explicit data conversion. First of all, let us discuss about this implicit data conversion. Now, implicit data conversion, here the value of a smaller data type will get converted into a value of higher data type. Smaller data type changing into higher data type. So this is a natural process for the language compiler. It is done by the compiler automatically. The user need not interfere in this type of conversion process. This is also known as type promotion or type promotion. So for example, so the basic idea here is the value of a lower data type gets promoted to a value of higher data type. So it is known as a type promotion or implicit conversion. Automatically done by the compiler. User need not interfere into this process. For example, I have a variable byte b equal to storing, let us say, this number 25. Right? I want to convert this variable that is originally of type byte into some variable of higher data type. For example, int. Okay, int is higher than byte because int needs 4 bytes in memory. Its range is also more, minus 2 to the power 31 to the power 31 minus 1. Whereas byte occupies 1 byte in the memory, range is minus 2 to the power 7 to the power 7 minus 1. So this is smaller and this is higher. So simply I can write int, let us say c equal to b. If I write this, automatically compiler will convert this 25 that is originally stored as that type byte into of integer type. Okay, there will be no loss of precision or no loss of value in this type of conversion. Now the second one is called as the explicit data conversion or typecasting. Now this is just the opposite of the implicit conversion. Now in this process, a value of higher data type will get converted into a value of lower data type, right? And this cannot be done by the compiler. This has to be done explicitly by the user. So the user has to write an explicit statement, separate statement conveying this type of conversion taking place in the program. Right, so this is known as explicit data conversion or typecasting, right? So because higher data type is getting converted into a value of lower data type, so there is a possible loss of precision or value in this type of conversion. Okay, for example, here is a data type, let us say int I equal to, let us say, and I want to convert this into a lower data type, let us say short. So if I write short s equal to I, no, wrong. Compiler cannot do this because it is int is a higher data type needing 4 bytes of memory and range is minus 2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 minus 1, whereas it needs 2 bytes of memory and its range is minus 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15 minus 1. So this is smaller, that is higher. So automatically computer cannot do it, compiler cannot do it, wrong. So then what in case I have to do, if my program needs something like this, then I have to give an explicit, write an explicit statement. So how will I write that? Data type variable equal to which data type this is going to change, short of I. So this I that belongs to of integer type originally has to get converted into short data type and then will get stored in a short variable. Okay. So these are the two types of data conversion techniques supported in Java. So today what we learned is what are the different data types, what are primitive data types. We learn what are the memory bytes they need because they use fixed space in the memory. Then also we saw the range of values they are going to support. Then we saw what is reference data type and what are the examples of reference data type. And then we saw how to, once we know what are the data types, then with the help of data types how to declare a variable, how to assign a variable, and then finally how to change one value of one data type to the value of another data type. Okay, thank you so much.